everyone. We are live on Career Happy Hour. Welcome, everyone. Got a little bit of music, royalty-free music, by the way, in case we have any people peeping out our music. It is royalty-free. So take a listen while you come on in. And as you come on in, you know the routine. Comment with your name. Where are you tuning in from? And also, what are you sipping on? And we will get started in just a moment. Hello, everyone. Are you enjoying that music as much as I am for Hump Day? All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for coming on in and dropping in to another episode of Career Happy Hour. We see that we have Emma in the audience, and she says that she is tuning in from Columbus, Ohio, and she has some of that Nicki Minaj wine, honey, peach, Moscato, baby. I love it. That sounds so amazing, Emma. Really appreciate everyone who's tuning in, and please make sure that even though you're not tuning in live, and if you catch the replay, put in hashtag replay. We want to make sure that we still shout you out, see that you're tuning in, and that you're getting all of these great nuggets that we're dropping every single week. We are so honored and humbled to be able to come and be able to share guest co-hosts with you each week. Each one has their own career story that we're unpacking and unfolding, and some of the ups and downs that they've had in their career. And it's just been an amazing journey. So I really appreciate and so much you coming along on this journey with us. So we also have Taylor that is tuning in, who is our guest co-host sister. Hey, sister friend. Thank you for tuning in, Taylor. Oh my gosh. Emma again. Oh, thank you. I switched it up, Emma. I had to bring out the curls today. It's been a week, girl. It's been a week. So appreciate you guys so much. So if you do not know me already, let me reintroduce myself, as they say. I am Lashina Recruitalina, your six-figure career brand coach. I am absolutely obsessed with your success. And that's what Career Happy Hour is about, right? It is about us coming together as a community, as a village, to support each other, for us to lean in on each other. Let's talk about some of the things that are going on in your life, in your business, in your career, because we are a community of career professionals, ambitious career professionals. I put that little caveat on there because our show is not for every career professional, but for those ambitious career professionals, as well as those ambitious entrepreneurs. Because when we talk about your career, there's an intersection of not only if you're doing a 9 to 5, or you could be an entrepreneur doing your own thing, or you could be doing a little bit of both, right? You could be doing your 9 to 5 and doing your own business, like so many of us are. So this is that intersection of being able to come together to talk about some of those issues that we're having, some of those problems, some of those successes. Let's also support each other. If there's something that, a service that one of our other community members has, definitely support them. We want to make sure that we're supporting each other. So along the way, we're also normalizing 6 figures here at Career Happy Hour. That's right. When I say 6 figures, I'm not only talking about reaching and aspiring and being at $100,000. I am talking about 6 figures is 1 digit shy of $1 million. A milli, 1 digit shy of a milli. So that is a really broad span that we're talking about when we talk about normalizing 6 figures. And we know that you're able to do that by staying recruitable, visible, and profitable in your career. So that is the premise of us coming together each week and having the guest co-hosts that we have. So appreciate you tuning in. So let's go ahead and get started and kicking off our guest co-host tonight. I'm telling you, she is one amazing firebomb. I'm going to call her a firebomb because, I make up words all the time. And she is also one of my business besties, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But if you don't have a business bestie, you need to make sure you get a business bestie. So I am going to introduce my guest co-host with a little bit of a bio here. So our guest co-host is Vernae Taylor. She is the New Jersey-based founder and CEO of Triple Threat Vision LLC, specializing in mentorship. She was the inspirational CEO nominee of Who's Who of 2020 for the Urban CEO Network and has since adopted the title of Authorpreneur. She is the co-author of publications such as The Actor's Side Hustle, The Breakthrough alongside Les Brown, The Evolution Effect, Our Truth is Not a Lie, and most recently, The Life of an Entrepreneur, 4th edition. In one of her most meaningful releases, Letters to My Father, 7 Steps to Healing from the Loss of a Parent, Vernae empowers people to move from a place of loss or grief, step into their confidence, and dare to live with purpose. She has appeared in the national tour of Almost Heaven, Songs of John Denver, Balance of Love in Atlantic City, the Tony Award-winning musical Another Chance, Short Film of the Year, Zara and the Oil Man, and was the writer and lead in the award-winning short Girl in the Mirror. Most recently, she has been involved in the weekly Build Your Own Empire Mastermind, which is a group on Clubhouse, a collaborative anthology, Your Voice Matters, and the development of Breakthrough Network, which will give others the roadmap to breaking through anything. Please put your virtual hands together for the guest co-host for tonight, the one, the only, the amazing, my business bestie, Vernae Taylor.
Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness, that intro. Thank you.
I need to take a drink after all that, girl. You just stacking them. I just need to. So while I'm taking my drink, please do share because I'm loving that glass. Oh my gosh, yes, what are you sipping on?
Celebrate, okay? It's just my nice little agua, okay? Okay, no drinks here, no drinks tonight. But
I love that agua.
But I am staying hydrated.
Yes, we need you to stay hydrated. Yes, please. Agua. Cheers, cheers. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that we have been talking about having you on the show for and since the beginning of times, but you know, my people had to talk to your people and your people had to talk. No, just kidding. But I knew that I really wanted to time up you coming on the show with you know, because it's really about having some meaning with, you know, my
Absolutely.
guest co-hosts. And we time this up with a lot of your ministry that you do with gloss and glue.
I received that. Okay.
Yeah,
You call
it
it a
is a
ministry.
ministry. It is your ministry, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. But before we get into all of that, because we have so much to unpack, I really want to, you know, maybe let's just start with, you know, a lot of what we talk about on Career Happy Hour is about a person's career story. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times that is very different with what they're living out versus where they started.
Yeah.
So share with us maybe, you know, when you were a little girl going to school and people say, "Hey, Vernae, what do you want to be when you grow up?" What kind of answers did you give them?
Oh my goodness. First off, I was a little firecracker. They said I started talking late, and when I started talking they couldn't shut me up. So I had a big heart. I guess I thought I was something, and I was like, I'm gonna be a star. Do you know who I am? So I performed with my brother, alongside my brother, my first talent show. I was 5 years old. So I was singing and dancing with my brother all up until the time that I can remember, and then college. I was, yeah, because we're 6 years apart. So we did all of that. He was doing the acting then, but I was just singing and dancing with him. We were in the choir. I always knew that I wanted to, do an album. I wanted to be a star. I wanted to sing. I wanted to inspire people through music. And then when I got into college, it was more so geared towards the acting. I got the acting bug. And then it was musical theater, and that's where I ended up on a national tour for Almost Heaven Songs of John Denver. That was my first national tour. But my first job was my gig out of Rutgers University. Shout out to Rutgers University, New Brunswick, New Jersey. Was Glinda in The Wiz, the Good Witch, Glinda the Good Witch. So yeah, so I was doing that, and in between that, I kept bouncing in and out of a lot of different industries. I worked managing a high end area of Bloomingdale's. I worked for several different designers, Michael Kors, Guess, and I also worked in pharmaceuticals. I worked for Johnson Johnson for a long time in two different divisions, and most recently, right before I decided I'm gonna go and be an entrepreneur and just dive in, I was working for Celgene. It was a company that makes cancer medication. So bouncing around really, but just knowing I didn't fit. I always knew
Hmm.
that this is not my final stomping ground. I was saying build your own empire, you build your own empire like a long time ago. So that was something that was always in my spirit, that you have to do something with purpose, and it's more than just, for me, it was more than just getting up, going to a 9 to 5 and building it for someone else, and
Yeah.
sitting on the God-given talents and gifts that I had, that I felt like the world needed to hear. I also knew that I was always going to be a published author. So I was writing forever. Poetry in my diary. Now we call it journaling, right? Now it's like trending.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was like, oh no, you got my diary. Don't, you better not read this. You know what I mean? It's got a lock on it. And now I'm airing all my dirty laundry. So yeah, so that's it.
That's what we do, you know.
Yep.
We're just talking. Yeah, we're just talking. We
Mm-hmm.
air all of that.
Yep.
That's so cool, the creative side of you that you always knew that you it sounds like you always knew that you had it. It was just it was showing up in different ways, in different capacities, in different industries.
Yeah, yeah, yes, and believe you me, I mean, for my family, they're like, "What is going on? What are you doing?" Because myself, along my brother, my cousin, we're all creative thinkers, we're all entrepreneurs, and we always had the entrepreneur spirit. So it just didn't make sense to our families. Like, "Look, why don't you get this job and stay on this job and retire, and get yourself some good benefits?" You know what I mean? Like, But it's like that's not the way of the world now. We found that out with the pandemic, that
Yeah.
nothing's really guaranteed, and there is no such thing as job security, so to speak. So you might as well be
Mm.
secure in who you are, owning who you are, owning your gifts, and how that can be shared with other people. For me, I was contracting at the time for Celgene. When my contract ended, perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity. I went to the Newark International Film Festival. I said, I'm going to go alone. I'll meet up with friends later. I brought my com cards. I had my little pitch, elevator pitch. Now we call it a help statement. We call it a lot of different things now, right? But at the
Yes.
time, it was just like me selling myself. I went there ready to just work with producers, get into film. I was modeling at the time, and the rest is history. I ended up gaining the opportunity to be a part of Breakthrough, the collaborative book with Johnny Wimbrey, Les Brown, Nick Halligan, other authors. And from that point on, that was my entry point. I wanted to give people a glimpse of me, my life, who I was, my family. And then the way I ended the book was, I'm still breaking through, and I hope you do too. Dot, 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 to be continued. So it was all in God's plan and perfect alignment that you would go on this journey with me. And now, to publish books and collaborations and films that are well renowned, and now business for myself.
I love that dot 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 though.
Yes,
Oh, that
honey, to be
there is
continued.
power in the dot dot dot. There's
Yep.
power there. And I love how you talked about the elevator pitch. And you're right. Depending on what's trending, it could be your help statement. But for all of the career professionals out there, it's not just for business owners and entrepreneurs. Help statements are for career professionals as well, because it's about putting forth your brand, your value in a very succinct way.
Oh,
And
I
one
love
of
that
the
word.
biggest, hmm,
Succinct. Oh, I love that word.
it's so crazy. One of the biggest mistakes that I see that career professionals will make in an interview, for instance, is when they are asked that question, well, tell me about yourself. That is not the time to go into a dissertation that lasts
Mm,
10 minutes. It shouldn't be even 5 minutes.
right.
But sometimes people just they don't know their elevator pitch. So take that as a tip from Vernae. Make sure you have
Yes.
your elevator pitch and your
Yes.
help statement on point. And if you need help with that, you know where to find me.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. We can give you the blueprint. We can give you the template. I
right,
mean,
yes, we need to make sure everybody has that on lock. So the with the breakthrough, I mean, I think that's such a amazing way to talk about it, because in any of our lives, our journey, we see all of the accolades and we talk about the accolades on the bio, but
yeah, honey.
what about those valleys? Like,
Mm,
I heard you talk about your family was looking at you like, well, are you gonna get this straight anytime soon? But
exactly.
how did that make you feel as you were going through that?
Oh my goodness. Well, horrible. At times and it's funny because it's all in perspective now, right? You look back and you're like, okay, I understand why I felt that way, because a lot of times we are living our lives externally, right? We are looking outward to see to look for validation, for approval, for permission. Come on, somebody, to do what it is that God called us to do. And so with that is going to come disappointment. But when I had some things, because we can talk about what I had to break through, because it's not always a glamorous story. When I actually wrote that story, there was a lot that I was going through. I was forced to look inward. For the first time, I was forced to look inward. I was forced to reflect on who I was, what was my identity, and who I wanted to become, who I wanted to create, not who my family said I should be, not what my friends were doing, not what, I thought was trending or popular or practical, right? Because come on, it's not about logic. Being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, being a boss, that is not logic. It's scary, it's risky. You know what I mean? It takes balls. Okay, let's just be frank. Okay?
Yes.
So, it's not something that's going to make sense. And so you need to like really pull from that inner strength. And it's not going to come from
Mhm.
other people telling you, oh, I don't know. I don't think you should do this. And you're really going to do that. And oh, girl, if that was me, no time for that. No time for that. So,
You spoke a whole word. And before I take this question from the audience,
ooh,
I
yes,
just want to I just want to say that this what you just said and everything that you just said. If you didn't hear what she said, please rewind this app on the replay and listen
all
to
right.
all of what Vernae just said because it's really important if you've one ever aspired to be an entrepreneur. But two, if you're an entrepreneur now, it's about helping to make sure that you keep your sanity almost, that you really dig deep. And that's where that community comes in and helps. And
Yes,
that's where when we talk about
yes.
being
That's when we
our
come in.
business bestie,
That's when we come in. When we calling each other like, girl,
yes,
we got a vent. You know what I mean? And we have to talk it
yes.
out. Absolutely.
Yes. So when you hear me on social media saying my BB business besties, and we got a whole crew of business besties for different things, right? Because we all have different strengths, we all have different knowledge. So it's not about just having one go-to business bestie, but to have a community of them that that you can trust, that you can confide in. And when things aren't going well and you just like Vernae said, you need to vent, that you can vent in a safe space,
Yeah.
but not, and you know that they're going to help you pull your boots up by the straps and
Mm-hmm.
say, you got this.
Absolutely. And what I really love about it, it's not even just about the venting, it's about the solutions. Because I'm telling
Mm,
you, in our network, we know who to call to get some solutions. Oh, I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can help you out, girl. Let me go ahead and
yes,
text you that information. How many times do we do that all the time? You know what I mean? How many times do we do
yes.
that? And so it's not even just about the unloading because we are all dealing with things. I've learned now I want to unload and vent and build with people that have some solutions for me. And that's just real talk.
Amen. I don't need to be talking about why it won't work. I need to understand how it will work. How about
Right,
that?
right. Make it happen.
So, the question from the audience: are you
Ooh.
saying the elevator pitch should be less than 3 minutes about your professional career? So I'll let you go, Vernae, and you on your side, and then I'm gonna tune in on from my career side.
Absolutely great question. Oh my goodness, I wish we could see your beautiful face. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for engaging with this question. So yes, it should be less than 3 minutes. It could sound something like this. I'll give you the template, if you will, and then I'll fill in the blanks. So it should say, I am such and such. I do blank or I help blank, and these are the results that I get that I'm going to give them. So, for example, I'm Vernae Taylor. You can give your title, entrepreneur, speaker, mentor. I help people move from a place of loss or grief, step into their confidence, dare to live life on purpose. Boom, done. So you definitely want to make sure you put in who you are, or sometimes people want to insert company or they insert title, who you help, and what results you are looking to give them. And it depends on your industry. Lashina's might sound differently because she's in a different field and different industry. So, I hope that was helpful. But yes, I help. This is who I am. This is what I do. I help blank, do blank.
And the results that you give is so important when you're a business owner and entrepreneur, to be able to give those results. So absolutely on point. So I'll switch it on from my with my
Oh,
business hat
I'm
on.
hearing the fuzz. I'm hearing the fuzz.
Oh
I don't know if anyone else hears that. Okay.
man, you still hear the fuzz?
You're coming back. Okay, let me see.
Do you hear now? Testing, testing.
Oh, it's still
Ooh.
fuzzy.
Oh my gosh,
I
what in the
know. It's technology, right? We have all these devices. You would think that they would play nice with each other, right? Because they make us buy all these things. It's like, no, you can't just have that. You need to have this,
no, right.
this.
Okay, because I'm glad you're noticing it now instead of me hearing it in the replay because I can't hear it. How about that? Can you hear it? Can you
Okay.
hear it?
All right. So
Is
hopefully
that
they can't hear it. I'm fine. I'm going to work through it.
no? If you hear it, they might be able to hear it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Audience,
can
tell us if you
someone
can
just
hear
put in
something.
the chat if you can hear some static so that I know if I need to switch up some things. So, but a comment from the audience, great information. Great
Oh,
information. We
good.
also have
Okay,
a
good. I'm
comment.
glad that was helpful.
Business besties. I love that. I need some business besties. Well, you can definitely get some business
Love it.
besties up in Career Happy Hour. So, someone.
Absolutely. Oh my
So I
God.
hear someone says I do not hear anything. Okay, good.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. So with my business hat on, with my entrepreneur hat on, so I'm Lashina Recruiter Lena. I help career professionals who are laid off and overwhelmed to get hired on and back to work loving what they do. Boom. That's with my business hat on, my entrepreneur hat on. So let's flip it when you're on the career professional side. And that elevator pitch can sound differently than when you're, out at a career happy hour in person.
Okay.
And you're mixing and mingling with individuals, and you talk about what you do. And it's different than when you're on an interview and they say, hey, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. And that absolutely positively should be less than 3 minutes,
Okay.
because they're not looking for you to go on a history lesson
Mm.
of I graduated from this high school, I went to this college and started. No,
No.
no, 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 no. It's really more, think of it as a icebreaker. They're just trying to break the ice and get, just to warm up the conversation so they can take it into different directions. So definitely keep that less than 60 minutes. I would say, 60 minutes, 60 seconds.
Yes.
Lord, please,
We
60
knew what you
seconds.
meant, honey. We knew what you meant.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You get me. Because if you time 3 minutes, that's a
That's
really
a long
long time,
time.
and you almost get people to check out. So
Mm.
you want to make it very succinct in a minute or less, where you're talking about what how your qualifications align with the job that you're interviewing for.
Yeah, that I like
So
that.
you really want to, and the value that you've brought that, but you want to be able to do it in a very succinct way. And so that could go a little bit like, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, I've been in the recruiting industry for over 20 years, and I've, been able to, help thousands of individuals to be able to move through the process, through getting hired for positions. And I really think that this role is a great fit for that, because of, and pull out something that you see in the job description
Nice.
on what they're needing, that you will then bring value to that role.
Mm. Yes, honey. You hear
Boom,
that part?
boom,
Bring
we're there.
value. That bring the value. That is where it's at. Either value or results, honey. Because listen, nobody's got time for all these pretty words.
Nothing. None of that at all. I appreciate that question. Please make sure that make put in all of your questions and comments. We'll make sure that we can answer as many as we can. I want to switch it a little bit, Vernae, because
Yeah.
I mentioned how strategic we were in scheduling you to be on the show.
Yes.
You've been there from the beginning, and I so appreciate you. You'll come in and you say, I don't know why my name not showing up, but this is Vernae and I'm here. and I and I have, when I tell you, I have been so appreciative of your support of Career Happy Hour. And I definitely wanted you to be part of the show. And with what you do with your ministry of helping individuals with loss and grief,
Yeah.
and your book, Letters to Your Father, it just resonated so much to me, because this show is a tribute to my mom that I lost way too soon in life. Tomorrow is her birthday.
Happy birthday,
So
Mom.
happy heavenly birthday to
Yes.
mommy.
Yes.
And she was taken from us way too early at 45, only 45 years old. And so me and my sister, we had her for a short period of time. But that's part of, what you share in your book, Letters to Your Father. So please do share with us some of
Yes.
what a copy of the book. That's awesome. Show it again.
Absolutely. I always have a copy handy. I always have this one in breakthrough handy for people to see it. Letters to My Father, and it's 7 steps to healing from the loss of a parent. But by all means, there are some great tools in this book that are not exclusive to you losing a parent. A lot of my friends that have not lost a parent, thankfully, have still said this got them to really look at their lives and the direction of their lives, self-care, and what they want to do to live more purposefully. So, Letters to My Father.
Oh wow, I love that. That's a great point because the loss that you feel from a parent, from just losing different people in your life, you still go through that same grief process. And I'm gonna throw another curveball in here because one of my areas of expertise is helping corporate career professionals who've been laid off from their job. And being laid off from your job,
Mm-hmm.
you go through a grief process with that. You go through some of those same cycles of anger. You still hear, oh,
Yeah,
can
and
you?
I don't know if it's me, but I did want to let you know just so that I make sure I answer your question exactly as you ask it.
Okay. And so laid off professionals, they go through that grief cycle
Right.
of being, angry that they have been, pushed out of their job, that they weren't prepared to leave at that
Mm-hmm.
point in time. They go through, feeling lonely. They feel depressed. They can feel anger. There's all of that grief process that they go through with losing a job that they weren't expecting to, that can
Absolutely.
be very similar to losing a person because that job was somewhat of an identity for them,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and they've lost that. So share with us, a little bit about how you have unpacked that as you work with individuals or in the book that you talk to that.
Yes, absolutely. So really what birthed this book was when I lost my father 10 years ago. I lost my father 10 years ago, and it was at a pivotal moment in my life. I was just getting ready to turn 30, pivotal for a woman. And, I was ending a relationship. It was the ending of my father's life, a short life at 57. There was so much more to give, so much more life to live. And then I had some other losses that happened consecutively, close to the loss of my father. And really, what happened was I had to just stop and first acknowledge, how am I feeling about this? What am I experiencing in my body, in my spirit, in my heart, in my mind, and what I'm thinking about the future and what this means for me. And I love that you mentioned, Lashina, identity, because that's definitely a question I had. Who am I? Who am I apart from from this person being here? Who am I apart from this relationship that I had with this person? And I started a journal. And I started that journal called Letters to My Father. And I was writing to my father conversations, that maybe things that we talked about, things that I would have loved to speak to him about, poems. I was, drawing pictures, things that I wanted to say to him. And it was really my way to revisit him and his life, his legacy, in a big way, whether it was Father's Day, whether it was holidays, whether it was the anniversary. And I did that, and I kept doing it. And it wasn't until this past July, for my 38th birthday, that I decided to publish this book and reformat it into a guide to help others navigate the space. So the first place I start in the first chapter in this book is acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge where you are. And I actually started off by saying, acknowledge the pain. Pain is pain. It's how we deal with it that matters. And I believe it was Maya Angelou or even Oprah Winfrey that said, some people are sitting in jail because of pain. Some people have taken their lives because of pain. Some people are writing a book because of pain. Some people are hurting others because of pain. Excuse me. But it's what we do with it and how we fuel that pain to transform into a purpose. So that's really why I started this book. And God knew exactly when the world would need it, because look at where we are with this pandemic. And I don't know about you, but I've experienced grief and loss in such a major way that I have never experienced it before. So this is what the world needs: 7 steps to healing from the loss of a parent.
Oh, wow. You just said to transfer your pain into purpose. What? Can I get some snaps on that? What?
Snap it up, snap, snap. Oh, wait, let's take a drink to that. Let's take a drink.
Oh, I like that. I see some drink.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
We
that's something that happened with maturity, with life, with experience,
yeah.
right? You realize when you look back, you're like, oh, I understand why that happened. I understand the cause and effects. I understand where it led me, right? Because had I not experienced those things, thank you for the snap, snap. If I hadn't experienced those things, I don't know that I would have asked those questions, because
Yeah.
my identity was so tied to what everybody else thought I was, or everybody else thought I should be doing, or who I was tied to, right? Or who I was connected to. And it wasn't
Yeah.
until this catastrophic, devastating time in my life I had to ask these questions. And then I had to wait for the answers. I literally had to be still and wait for the answers. And that's where the writing came. That's where the journaling came. That's where the meditation came, you know. And with anything, when it's moving from a job, when it's just moving, relocating, right? You're leaving
Oh my gosh, yes.
one place, you know, you're in transition. That's where I am now, and we'll talk a little bit about that, the space that I'm in currently in grief, in a different type of grief. When you're doing all of that, you have to take inventory of, okay, so where am I? What am I feeling? What's working? What's not? And what is my vision? What would I like this to look like? Right? And once you can envision that, yes, what a great idea. But once you envision who it is that you want to be and the life that you want to have, right? Then you can start affirming that and working towards it.
Oh my gosh, that's so powerful. We've had some great comments here. We have, and you know, on some platforms it doesn't show your name, so I'll be able to see it later. Oh, but Marsha, she put this
Oh,
in there.
wow. Oh my gosh, my condolences.
Yes, and I know, you know, you and I have talked, Marsha. That pain of losing your mom is, you know, it's different. It's a different kind of pain that hits home. So glad that you're tuning in. You know, hopefully you're getting some really great comfort and some insight, you know, from our discussion today. And then Emma, oh my gosh, see, I knew we had this
Oh, my
Korean
love
universe
girl.
going on that your mom's
And
birthday
mine's on
is
Sunday.
tomorrow too.
My mom's birthday's on Sunday. I don't know. I guess it's like the mom's weekend.
Yeah,
It's definitely the mom's weekend. So happy
we're
birthday. Happy heavenly birthday to all the moms. My mom, thankfully, she is still here. But as you know, we just lost our grandmother. So, you know, she was very much like a mom to me. So, and I tell you, even in knowing what grief is, right? Even having experienced it in that way, it's different every time. And I even say, it's even a chapter in the book that grief is unique to you, right? It's unique to you, and it's not going to be the same. There's no blueprint for it. It's not going to look like anybody else's experience. It's not even going to look like the last time that you had a loss. It's not. And so it's a new way of being. It's a new experience. It's just, it's new. Everything is new. Everything is new. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And it's been almost 20 years since my mom passed.
Oh,
And you know, it's still very fresh, depending on the moment, right?
absolutely.
You know, I know some of you are on my social media and I talked about she always loved red birds, and I had a red bird visit the front porch, and I felt her presence. And there's, you know, that feeling of, you know, I haven't talked to my mom in a while. And you
Oh,
stop yourself, and it's like,
yes.
no, but you just, you know, it's just habit really, because you're used to that person and their presence being there. But I
Absolutely.
think that's a great thing to think about, that when you have those moments, that that does reassure you that their presence is still there with
Yeah.
you, watching and looking over you,
Abs-
even though their physical presence is not.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think that's so powerful. And you know, there's nothing like a grandmama love. You know,
Oh,
you're
listen.
a grandmama love.
Ask
I talked
about
about
her. Ask about her. Minnie Taylor, are you kidding me? Minnie Taylor, she loved and impacted people from here to California. I'm in New Jersey, by the way. I know you in ATL, but um, but yeah, you know, from here to California, she touched people's lives in so many ways. 91 years old. Oh my gosh, my condolences to you. So thank you so much for being here. I love that name, Nigeria. Oh my God,
I
gorgeous,
know.
gorgeous. That sounds really great as a name. But yeah, so there was nothing like her love. And I love that you said that sometimes you just want to feel their presence, right? And there's things that will remind you of them. And for me, I had to be intentional about revisiting maybe a space, that the last place that we went, last place we sat and had a really, really important, informative conversation, or the last restaurant that we went to. When it comes to my grandma, doing something that honors her, that I know that I would have done with her. And I still talk to her. That's another thing. Yesterday, I was really missing her. Like you said, getting ready to call, and I was getting out of work, and I wanted to call her because I would always call her just because, you know. And we were in the same residence, and I'm like, and I was just calling like, Grams, what you doing? She's like, talking to you. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, why are you
Won't
bothering
they
me?
say
I'll see
something
you in
smart
5
like that?
minutes. Right. I'll see you in 5 minutes. But I just wanted to talk to her. So it was
Right.
one of those feelings. And so I still do. Who says that the conversation has to end?
Right.
Grief is love with nowhere for it to go right now. So you continue to love that person. You continue to have that relationship with that person, even though you can't physically touch them. Um, is what kind of brings me strength, and drawing from my strength right now actually is what's comforting me.
Wow. Oh, our condolences go out to you. As you see, we have so many that have
Yeah.
experienced the loss of a parent, and we feel the pain. We know the struggle that goes along with that, and so we're giving you all virtual hugs
Yes, yes. And love
because
yourself. That's another thing that I learned in the book, self-care. Self-care is so important during this time when you are feeling this, oh my gosh, this angst, you're feeling this emptiness, you're feeling this void. Don't punish yourself. Don't even judge what you're feeling. Go ahead and feel what it is that you're feeling. Give yourself permission to feel that. And also give yourself permission in this space to say, no, not today. Can't do that. Not available. I'm going to be selfish. Like whatever that might look like for you, that is such a learning experience. It's something I'm still trying to implement in my life, like on a regular basis. Self care. You got to pencil it in on the to do list. Self care, right? My idea of self care now is I put my phone on do not disturb. So I'm not into. I don't have the energy for idle chit chat. I don't have the energy. I can't give it to anybody. Just anybody, and at any given time. So that's just what it
yeah,
is, right? So whatever works for you.
that's so important, and to give others grace for that, when they're going through that. Just like, I reached out to you. I knew of what you were going through, not necessarily all of it. And what did I say? I was like, hey, do you want me to reschedule? I'm okay
Right,
with that because
right.
I know. But there's also some part of the normalcy that is also a bit helpful, that
Yeah,
you get back into the routine of
yeah.
things, to say, you know what, this is what my mom, this is what my father, my grandmother, this is what they would want me to be
Yes,
doing.
that's exactly what I said. Grandma would have been like, "Girl, you gotta get up and go to work. Okay, you ain't got time for that. These bills still coming in. The rent is due. Okay." You're right. That's literally what I said to myself. I can hear my grandma. I hear her voice telling me,
Yes.
"You better go to work." So I'm like, okay, girl, I'm working. Even now, I'm like, oh, I better make up my bed. She's looking at me, watching me. I better make up this bed. And I'm telling you, just to hear their voice, just oh my goodness, you're right, you're right. It's just like because you want to carry on the legacy. You want to carry on whatever
Right.
they didn't do. And I think that was the biggest thing about me writing this book and doing
Yeah.
so much that I do with my brother. Shout out to my brother who's on this broadcast, and Taylor Brands and Co. And just really continuing the family name. I think that's everything that we live for. Like that's at the
Yeah.
core of who we are, trying to continue the legacy. Because at 57, my gosh, I mean, there's so much more life to live. There's so
Yes.
much potential. There's so much more there. And why else do we have seeds? Why else do we have offspring? Because that is to continue the family name, continue the legacy, carry out and to do what our parents couldn't do or what our parents' couldn't do. And so when you know that, you got to do something about it.
Oh, you are saying a whole word right now, because when I talk about, why I hustle so hard, why I work so hard, why I do what I do, is because my mom was such an entrepreneur at heart. She still had the 9 to 5, but she still had her entrepreneur work that she did. And I
Okay.
just remember, like, she was a go-getter. She was ambitious. And so my sister is like that too, and so I say sometimes that, mom is looking over us and she is so proud
Yes, and you're a
because
amazing mother. How about that? Let's talk about that job that you have. I don't know that job, and I see what you're doing. I mean, to hustle so hard and then you hustle for your kids. Like your son, oh my goodness. You're like at every game, you're taking pictures, you're celebrating. I don't care if you were on a Zoom. If you know how many times you'll have like one earbud in, and then you're like, oh, but the other ear is for the game. I'm cheering, but oh wait, what did you say? Okay, yeah, I'm here. Yes, I am Lashina or Kudalina. Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'm obsessed with your success. And I'm telling you, that is the real MVP right there. Shout out to the moms. Shout out to the moms. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
clap it up for
because
them.
we, like you said, we're planting seeds for them, so he sees, what I saw in my mom, and so I know that this is what we're getting programmed into our kids' heads, that yes, you can make it work. You have to be strategic about it. You have to plan it out. You have to make sure you have that self-care, which I continue to drill into my own brain, is about having that self-care, that it all blends together. It's just that's so powerful, when you talk about making sure that you manage all of that. And it's so powerful to hear the overlay and the parallel to life, and then also with grief. Like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and believe it or not, I'm gonna tell you, and this is gonna sound really weird for people that are listening, but I want you to catch this. Okay, I want you to pick up what I'm about to put down right now.
Uh-oh. Bring it.
I'm telling you, 30 was pivotal, right? 30 was pivotal. And at this very moment when I'm losing a nearly 10-year relationship, I'm losing my father, I'm losing my pastor's daughter, who is a mentor of mine. I'm telling you, that is when my life began. Okay, so hear me. At the ending, there is new beginnings. Where there is death, there is new life. And when you see that and you can understand it and you own that and embrace it, I'm telling you, it just makes things so much easier and it puts things in perspective, knowing that there is a win on the other side of that. There's a purpose on the other side of that pain, and there is something that is going to fuel you into the next dimension of who you are to become. And had you not gone through this, you may not have even gotten there. Think about how many times we are apprehensive, we're scared, we're doubtful, we're listening to the naysayers, we're listening to outside voices, and we're not doing what it is that we know we ought to be doing. We know that we've got a story to tell. We know that we don't need to be staying at this job, that we have other things and gifts inside of us that need to get out. We know that there is something else that we ought to be doing. And sometimes it's these devastating, life changing events that really push us to get to where we need to be. So, with that, death came new life.
Ooh, you dropped the fire right there. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I gotta fan you off right there. Because sometimes we do question, why me? Why did this
Yeah,
happen to me?
yeah,
And sometimes it's a swift kick in your butt to be doing what you need to be doing.
yeah,
But unless this disruption happened in your life, you wouldn't take that step back
yeah,
to say, this is what I need to be doing, or this is what I'm meant to be doing.
yeah,
Sometimes we need that disruption,
yeah,
and that's where we're able to go to our next level. You said a whole word. Yep, yep. At the end, you have to think of, there's new beginnings. Wow.
yeah.
Okay, so I know we're getting close to the end of our hour. It flies by, right?
I know it goes by quickly. And I did see a comment pop up. I don't know what they said, so I do want to get back to that because I know that something popped up when I was speaking. But
I think that was me. I said
oh,
at the end is new beginning.
oh, look
Snap,
at you.
snap, snap.
Okay, I love the little avatar. Okay, I didn't even recognize. Look at you. I love that. You had the hair flowing. You had the blowout. Okay, all right.
I try to sometimes. Sometimes.
I love it. But yeah,
So you have a free giveaway that we want to talk to the audience about. But
yes.
then I think there was also something that you had mentioned that you wanted to make sure that you also share. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Let us know about what you have for our amazing community of Career Happy Hour. And then, anything else that you wanted to share about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely want to share my ebook. It is 5 steps to purge effectively. So, how to purge effectively. I think a lot of what we are doing and a lot of what we learned in our communities, in our society, is to acquire, right? We are just overly excessive and obsessive about everything, right? But I want to give you a little glimpse and a little sneak peek on how to let things go, how freeing it can be, how liberating it can be. And I want you to go to mylifelivedonpurpose.com. mylifelivedonpurpose.com, and you're just going to go on there and you'll see the drop down menu of different ways that you can work with me. It doesn't matter what you choose. I just want you to go in there and get your access to your free ebook so that you can get a jump start, because now that we're going through so much, I don't know about you, but I tend to hold a lot into my body, right? So I tend to internalize my pain and my stress in my body, and it's not healthy. So there's a lot that we need to be able to let go, put down, lay aside, say goodbye to. And I just want to show you how to do that. Okay. And then another thing that I didn't tell Lashina this, but I do want to throw this in because I think that it'd be extremely helpful as we're going through so much now. I do want to also gift breakthrough to a special person that joined us today on the broadcast. So Breakthrough, it's featuring myself again, Johnny Wimbrey, Les Brown, Nick Halleck, and other beautiful authors. This is going to show you the beginning of my story, but more importantly, it's also going to show you from people from different backgrounds, different parts of the world, and different industries, how they've overcome, how they broke through a lot of barriers, a lot of setbacks. And that's what we need to do. We need to learn how to break through. And what I mean by breakthrough doesn't mean that, okay, we're getting over it. Like, you got this. You'll be fine. No, you give yourself the space and the permission to feel what you're going to feel. But just know that you're still moving forward. Just know that that still needs to get done. That story still needs to be told. That person still needs to hear this word and this message. You still deserve to be happy, and you deserve to live life with purpose and on purpose. So we're breaking through. I'm Vernae Taylor. I'm still breaking through, and I hope you do too.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Wow. So not only is she doing a giveaway for one special person, but a giveaway for all of our community with the ebook. All right, girl, go ahead. We so appreciate that. That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about. And then we also have, so I'm slipping tonight. I don't even have my little banner going. Let me get my banner up here. So let's see. There we go. The banner.
Nice.
Make
Okay.
sure
Check
that
you
you
out with the
connect
graphics. Okay.
with Vernae on Instagram on Vernae Taylor, and then also you're on Clubhouse. You're doing some amazing things there. Do tell us
Yes.
about. I mentioned that at
Every
the beginning, but
Tuesday.
tell us. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. Of course, I'm Vernae Taylor across all platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter. I haven't really learned how to use that yet. On Clubhouse, of course, and even my website, VernaeTaylor.com. If you just want to see a full scope of everything that I've done in my entire career over the course of these 38 years. But yes, on Clubhouse, I am there. Build your own empire. It is for the entrepreneurs, the aspiring entrepreneurs. So if you're just kind of like teetering on the fence and you're not sure what you want to do, you need some support, you need a sounding board for some of the things that you may have, cooking in your spirit and you're not sure what to do. I definitely say this is for you. For those that are looking to be paid what they're worth, they're looking to step out their comfort zone from their 9 to 5. If you're looking to write a book, we do Boss Lady Tip Tuesdays every Tuesday at 6:30 on Clubhouse. Build your own empire. Join the club, follow the club, join us in that room. I am the confidence coach. We have a mindset coach and a public speaking coach so that you know exactly how you can, find ways to step out of your comfort zone, build your own empire, and really have the community and space and support to get it done and to get it done for you. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I'm new to Clubhouse, as some of you know, because I'm an Android user. Yes,
Yes.
I'm that girl. I'm an Android
Yes.
user. So I'm still trying to get up to date now that Clubhouse has opened up to Android users. So tell us the name of the Clubhouse again. So it's Boss Lady.
Oh, yes. So the club that you want to find, and you can actually go in there and put in a little search, the search, I guess not search engine, but search box. You can search people or you can search clubs. And when you put in build your own empire, you will see us. You'll see 3 ladies pop up with a little avatar. And I want you to join the club, follow the club, and turn on your notifications. That way, every time we're there, every time we're doing an event, you'll be the first to know about it. Also, I recommend that you follow me as well. You can turn on your notifications for me. So anytime I'm on Clubhouse, you know when I'm speaking, what rooms I'm speaking in, what I'm speaking about. And then our recurring event is Boss Lady Tip Tuesdays. I think that's been great. People have really been receptive to it. Last night we were just on there. Build Your Own Empire is the name of the club. And Boss Lady Tip Tuesdays has been great because we always focus on different topics for the night. And last night we were talking about, book writing and how some people are sitting on stories for like 5, 10 years. Somebody is waiting for that story. Somebody's life is depending on hearing what it is that you have to say. It's not for you, it's for somebody else. I'm telling you, I was writing I was publishing a book of poetry, Life, Love, and Loss, that I've been publishing. I don't know for how many years. It has yet to come out. But God knew, didn't nobody want no poem, but they needed a book about grief and loss. So it's all about God's timing. It may not match our timing, but I'm telling you, it is exactly what the world needs. So, don't sit on these gifts and talents that you have. Live your life with purpose. It's something bigger and greater than just getting up, going to work, going home, go to sleep, get up, and do it all over again for someone else. You deserve it for you.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think that is the takeaway. We're not doing this for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're doing this for those that we're meant to serve. And that's what
Ooh,
you're doing, my friend.
yes.
My friend, my bestie,
I
my business
love you. It's so
bestie.
good to see you.
I love you too. Mwah. You have been so amazing. Thank you for all of the nuggets that you've shared with us tonight. I know you have touched some minds and some hearts tonight with
Thank
your
you.
ministry, and you have more of a ministry to do. So,
I'm
thank
humbled by
you.
that. Oh, I'm telling you, I've never heard anybody say ministries. I'm humbled by that. Oh my God. But thank you. I appreciate being on your platform. You've been doing so amazing. I love the career happy hour. I get so mad when I'm like doing something else. This is what happens when you're a boss and you're like, oh gosh, I'm doing my own room or I'm doing my own broadcast. And you have like, you're so booked and busy that you can't even go to your friends' things. But when I get a chance, I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. I love it. I'm always going to be in the comments. And so kudos to you, celebrating you for this amazing platform that you've created. Like everything from the branding, from the emails that I get. I love, love, love. So thank you. Shout out to your mom. Happy heavenly birthday to mommy. Shout out to my grandma, Minnie Taylor, of 91
Yes.
years, and my father, Alexander Taylor, We are just, and shout out to all the people that joined us tonight that are also, mourning the loss of somebody that was really, really important to them. We are with you. We stand with you.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, that was an amazing conclusion to our happy hour because, we never want happy hour to end, but it has to end at some point.
Yeah.
So, really appreciate you joining us and just love you, girl. Love,
I love
love,
you. Love, love,
heart you.
love.
All right, guys, we are at the end of another episode of Career Happy Hour. We have had just an amazing time. We just chatted up, we're just here having a conversation, and you're part of that. And we're so appreciative for those that are able to join us live and to be able to engage and to comment and to ask us questions. But we also appreciate those who are in the replay because you know how busy I am. So sometimes I have to catch the replay too. So totally understand that. Just put hashtag replay and drop in those comments, drop in all of those nuggets because we do go back and we look at those, and those that are able to see the comments later, it really does help. So really appreciate you tuning in tonight. And I am sending just a tribute, such honor to my matriarch, my mom, who's celebrating her heavenly birthday tomorrow. You have been the inspiration of all that I do and all that I aspire to do. And I am extremely grateful. And I know I'll be seeing some cardinals here real soon as she gives me that thumbs up, says, I see you, girl. I see you. All right. I am Lashina Recruitalina, your six-figure career, life, brand coach, all of that, because life and your brand, they work together. I am absolutely obsessed with your success. And that's why we're here at Career Happy Hour. We want to make sure that you stay recruitable, visible, and profitable while all the while you are what? Rocking your oomph. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Have an amazing rest of the week. Take care.